The following is a paid program for automatic home standby generators, brought to you by Generac Power Systems.
There's no place like home, and today you rely on power more than ever for all the comforts you love. But when your power goes out, you feel helpless, out of control. You're in the dark, without air conditioning or heat. Food begins to spoil. Many people lose clean running water. The home network and internet are down. Your home security system is useless, and the basement sump pump is not working. All necessities of modern life gone.
We were without power for 7 days.
We had lost everything in the refrigerator, hundreds of dollars worth of food. We ended up having to move out of the house because the temperature was below zero.
To lose power at any time is a nightmare.
You had no water, no air conditioning.
We had no light, we had no stove. It's all gone.
You feel cut off from the world at that point. It was just an unbelievable experience that I would never want to go through again in my life.
Maybe you think a power outage won't happen to you. Think again. The first issue is weather. It's becoming more severe than ever. It doesn't matter if it's a man-made problem or not. No one denies the intensity of weather, and storms are getting worse. Next, there's the nation's aging power grid. It will impact you even if you live in an area not affected by storms. Then there is the big threat of physical attacks on the grid. There was already an attack on a power substation in Metcalfe, California in 2013. Snipers knocked out 17 transformers that provide power to Silicon Valley and kept the station offline for a month. And there's even a brand new reason to be very concerned about your home losing power: cyber attacks. They're already happening. Cyber hackers cut off power to over 200,000 people in 2015. With more on that, here's National Security and Energy Specialist Jim Woolsey. He's a former Undersecretary of the Navy and the former Director of the Central Intelligence Agency. When you're the head of the CIA, you know firsthand the level of the threat.
One of the first things we need to look at in assessing the vulnerability of the grid and what we need to do about it is cyber terrorism. I think very few Americans have paid much attention to this vulnerability of the electricity grid. There are hacking attacks all the time on the electric grid and on systems that the grid depends on. We could face very serious attacks. So if the electric grid goes, you don't have food, you don't have water, you don't have communications, you don't have transportation. We need much better planning and systems. That is a big part of our problem.
When you consider weather, the grid, and cyber threats, you can see why losing power to your home is now a part of life.
That's a scary thought, especially for moms, but something you never need to worry about when you have a Generac home standby generator. It protects your family and your home 24/7. And prices start at just $19.49, so you can get the ultimate in peace of mind at a very affordable price.
That's why more people than ever are getting a Generac automatic standby generator.
But don't confuse these with portable units. A lot of people thought they could rely on portable generators during the last major storm, only to find many gas stations closed, and the ones that still had gas had very long lines.
We had a lot of experience with a portable generator.
Running extension cords, with all the cords all over the house.
And mainly, the only thing we ever hooked up to it was the sub pump.
We couldn't use it for any of the other things like heat that are necessary when you have a power outage during the winter. And you needed to have fuel, gasoline, to power it.
I think a generator like that has a purpose, but it's not for backing up your house.
If you own a portable, that was a good first step. But now many portable owners have upgraded to a home standby unit.
Even the Red Cross says for power outages, permanently installed stationary generators are better suited for providing backup power to the home.
But waiting in gas lines is never a problem with a Generac because it uses natural gas or LP. Here's how it works. When the power company supply is cut off to your home for any reason, your Generac generator automatically senses the problem and turns on all by itself, once again supplying your home with power whether you're there or away.
Then when the regular power supply is back, your Generac shuts off by itself. Your life goes on like normal. Everything works. There are no compromises.
We knew that Hurricane Sandy was going to be coming in, and we had no idea how bad it was actually going to be. We were just at Mother Nature's mercy. You couldn't even go outside. I mean, just to open up the door with the wind and the rain, then all of a sudden the lights went out. So we had nothing. It was just unbelievable. I said to myself that I was never going to live that way again. Now that we have our Generac generator, our life has become much, much easier. Generac took care of all of the paperwork, everything to install the unit in my home. It provides me the reassurance that when I'm not home, my security system will be working and my family is protected. Knowing that you have the best for your family is a better way.
Electricity is an essential part of life these days. Our homes are smarter and more connected than ever, and all the new technology we love requires power.
Because of population increases and the dramatic increase in our use of electricity, the demand for electrical power has risen. That makes the fact that our outdated power grid is being neglected even more of an issue.
There's several problems with the electric grid. We have an interconnected, very over-connected infrastructure.
The infrastructure here is antiquated. It's been around for a long time, and we used to lose power on average about once a month.
The power grid is definitely failing, and that was a worry for us.
Now that we have the Generac generator, there's the peace of mind that your home is safe.
We were the only house with the lights on, and the only house with the ability to use the phone, to use the computer, to have air, to have the refrigerator.
Generac gives us that peace of mind because it is our power grid.
Power outages are more and more a part of life now. And that is worrisome because when the power goes out, there are all kinds of problems and safety issues for your family.
It used to be that storms and an aging power grid were the main reasons you could lose power. But now, there is a growing threat.
I've been here 20 years, and the world is not the same place we knew. Cyber terrorism could happen anywhere, and it has happened. Should any of the power grids be taken out, how much damage or chaos could that create to the people that it affects? We would be without water, heat. It's almost basically a nightmare. I really would be at someone else's mercy to restore my power. Because of the Generac, I feel I am in complete control. Every time I'm out cutting the grass, the green light doesn't fail me, it's on. I worked hard for what little bit I have, and I've learned the hard way. If you're gonna buy something, buy the best there is. And that's what I did with this generator.
When you understand the facts, you can see why more and more homeowners are getting a Generac.
But when exactly is the best time to get a Generac generator? Right now, when your power is on and before the next outage strikes. Here is your chance to find out more.
With worsening weather patterns, an aging vulnerable power grid, and the growing risk of cyber terrorism, power outages are a part of life now. That can be stressful because we depend on power more than ever. When the power goes out, we lose everything. There's no air conditioning, no heat. We can't even charge our smartphones. Now more than ever, you need a Generac automatic home standby generator. With prices starting at just $19.49, you can afford to always have the power you need. When power from the utility company is interrupted, your Generac generator instantly detects the problem and automatically provides power to your home. When the utility power returns, your generator automatically shuts off and returns to standby mode, ready for the next time you need it. With Generac, power stays on in your house, even if you're not at home. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. Generac has more than 5,000 dealers nationwide that will help you select a home standby generator that will meet your needs and fit within your budget. They'll discuss installation and provide you with a comprehensive estimate. It's a totally free consultation with no obligation to buy. It only makes sense to find out more. Generac's automatic home standby generators start at just $19.49. Special financing is available with affordable monthly payments. Plus, with the Generac mobile link, you can check on your generator anytime from anywhere in the world. With the highest quality construction, exceptional dependability, and state-of-the-art technology, it's easy to see why Generac is the #1 brand of automatic home standby generators in the world. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. And if you act right now, you'll receive our 7-year extended limited warranty, a $695 value, absolutely free. Having a Generac generator gives you the peace of mind of knowing your family will always be safe and sound. Control your power and control your life with a Generac automatic home standby generator.
We had 3 big storms in a row, and each one presented so many problems for us because we didn't have electricity.
To lose power at any time is a nightmare.
We finished one part of our basement, and we had it finished for only literally, I think, 9 days. And then the next big storm came.
Everything was lost. The basement, filled up with water.
Each time, it cost us quite a bit of money to finish our basement again.
I'm tired of the 100-year flood that comes every 10 years now.
And after the 3rd storm, Ed was like, we're done.
So then we've got a Generac, and we don't lose power anymore. We have control over what happens in our lives now.
We don't have to worry about our basement flooding. We don't have to worry about our air conditioning going out. The generator gives us peace of mind. If we lose our power for 15 minutes or 4 days, we're gonna be okay.
If the power's out in the neighborhood, the power's on here.
There is a reason Generac is the #1 manufacturer of automatic home standby generators in the world. It starts with the fact that each major part of the engine is built from the ground up and specifically designed for the high demands of generator power. It's called purpose-built, and it makes all the difference in the world when it comes to reliability and longevity. Every single unit is tested for performance and quality before leaving the factory. And Generac is built to last, with corrosion-resistant housings, no plastic. They can withstand winds of up to 150 miles per hour. A Generac generator even automatically runs a self-diagnostic test once a week and will let you know it passed. And with Mobile Link, you can monitor your system anytime you want from anywhere in the world for ultimate peace of mind.
The Mobile Link is something I don't think anybody would really want to be without.
I can check the status, I can check on the battery.
I could pick up my phone to look, oh, generator was on, it was running properly.
It has been great for us. While we travel, we can keep track of what's happening here at the house.
It tells you right to your cell phone that it's turned itself on.
Generac is one of the leading manufacturers of industrial generators in the world. Places that must have power, like hospitals, depend on Generac. And Generac uses all that experience to make their home generators even more reliable. Generac generators are everywhere, protecting some of the world's largest companies. And of course, Generac is engineered and built in Wisconsin, right here in the USA. Get a Generac, and you can be confident knowing your home and family are being protected by an industry leader. A fact that has never been more important than now, with the constant threat of severe weather.
We live in the most weather-active country in the world. I mean, you think about it, we have hurricanes, we have tornadoes, we have severe thunderstorms, we have intense cold, we have flooding rains. We have weather that can really shut things down. And that means at times that you can lose power. Could be minutes, hours, even days on time. You need to be prepared. And most people, when they're not, they say, wow, I never thought it could happen. Well, the fact of the matter is, it does happen, and that's why you need to be prepared.
Being away and losing power can be very disruptive on your life. My family and I happened to be on vacation out in California when we received word that all the flights coming east were canceled because of a big hurricane that was coming through. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a storm that knocked the power out for about a week. When we came home, we discovered that we had lost everything in the refrigerator, hundreds of dollars worth of food, and water was on my floor and had buckled and ruined the beautiful hardwood floors that we had recently had redone. The reason I went with Generac is because they made a generator that would power my whole house. If hospitals have Generac generators powering their facilities, then having a Generac at my house is a smart decision. They also have their mobile link, which allows me to be able to monitor the generator remotely, because you never know when the power is going to go out. But once it does, knowing I can check it from wherever I am has provided me with a lot of peace of mind.
Let's say you live in an area where violent storms are not as common. You're still at risk because of the nation's aging power grid. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, aging equipment has resulted in an increasing number of intermittent power disruptions, as well as vulnerability to cyber attacks. In fact, they evaluated and graded the grid, and they gave it a D+. Work on the grid started a century ago, and most of the grid that is used today is now 50 years old. Because of population increases and the dramatic increase in our use of electricity, the demand for electrical power has risen. That makes the fact that our outdated power grid is being neglected even more of an issue. But the government must have a plan, right? Actually, they aren't really doing anything about it. The first challenge is that to upgrade the system, it could cost as much as $2 trillion, and there is simply no plan in the works to make it happen.
We have an extremely fragile system. We have not done a good job of protecting the resilience, particularly of our electric grid. That is a big part of our problem.
What does that mean for you? Every day that goes by, the chances increase for a major power outage that could leave you without power for weeks. Add it all up and you can see why owning a Generac home standby generator is now essential for anyone, no matter where you live.
We live out here in Salmonac, Illinois on a 15-acre farmette with horses, a parrot, and 2 barn cats. We moved out here from a relatively populated area, so it was a surprise to us when we lost power as often as we did. We average at least 1 power outage a month. When we lose power, it's detrimental not just to us, but all the animals we care for. The longer it's out, the more desperate we become for water. We knew we had to do something. Now that we've had our generator for a couple of years, I often ask my husband why we waited so long. I wish we had done it a lot sooner. I love the mobile link feature because it gives us the freedom and flexibility to leave the house at a moment's notice and know that everything is okay back home. When I think back to life before my Generac, I don't want to live like that again. From installation to service, you can't go wrong. I love my generator and I can't imagine life without it.
As a responsible adult, you have all kinds of insurance, right? Health, home, auto insurance. Well, what could be more important than having the kind of insurance that guarantees you'll have power when you need it to keep you, your family, and your home safe?
And unlike other insurance, getting a Generac will actually increase the value of your home, so it helps pay for itself. But here's the thing, you don't buy auto insurance after the accident, right? That's why it's so important you act right now, before you need a Generac generator.
With worsening weather patterns, an aging vulnerable power grid, and the growing risk of cyber terrorism, power outages are a part of life now. That can be stressful because we depend on power more than ever. When the power goes out, we lose everything. There's no air conditioning, no heat. We can't even charge our smartphones. Now more than ever, you need a Generac automatic home standby generator. With prices starting at just $19.49, you can afford to always have the power you need. When power from the utility company is interrupted, your Generac generator instantly detects the problem and automatically provides power to your home. When the utility power returns, your generator automatically shuts off and returns to standby mode, ready for the next time you need it. With Generac, power stays on in your house, even if you're not at home. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. Generac has more than 5,000 dealers nationwide that will help you select a home standby generator that will meet your needs and fit within your budget. They'll discuss installation and provide you with a comprehensive estimate. It's a totally free consultation with no obligation to buy. It only makes sense to find out more. Generac's automatic home standby generators start at just $19.49. Special financing is available with affordable monthly payments. Plus, with the Generac mobile link, you can check on your generator anytime, from anywhere in the world. With the highest quality construction, exceptional dependability, and state-of-the-art technology, it's easy to see why Generac is the #1 brand of automatic home standby generators in the world. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. And if you act right now, you'll receive our 7-year extended limited warranty, a $695 value, absolutely free. Having a Generac generator gives you the peace of mind of knowing your family will always be safe and sound. Control your power and control your life with a Generac automatic home standby generator.
Here's National Security and Energy Specialist Jim Woolsey. He's the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency. When you are the head of the CIA, you know firsthand the level of the threat.
There are two types of dangers I think we have to pay attention to. One of my colleagues used to call them malignant and malevolent. Malignant are caused by nature, tornadoes, hurricanes, all sorts of bad weather. But there's something else. There's malevolent threats. And a malevolent threat is something like a hacker trying to take down your electric grid, and you can't ignore the malevolent problems. We have an extremely fragile system that is relatively easy to take out because of its design. We have not done a good job of protecting the resilience, particularly of our electric grid. That is a big part of our problem.
I think our tipping point or breaking point came after the last 5-day outage that we had during the winter. We're always one of the last neighborhoods to have our power restored.
When we lose power, we don't have water. We can't take showers, we can't do laundry, life stops. It's hard with children when you lose power too. It's hard to explain to them why they can't turn on the lights, why they can't turn on the TV.
And we both have home offices. It was impossible for us to continue to do business. No power, no work, no job. So after that last storm, we just said no more. And we made the investment in the Generac generator.
We always have power now.
Now when we lose power, it's like the New Year's countdown. So at 0, the lights come back on. We've made several improvements to the home. None of those investments have provided the peace of mind and the comfort that the Generac generator has.
You know, in the old days, you may have thought, well, we really don't need a home standby generator.
These are very different times now. The weather is more severe than at any time in our lives, and the power grid is getting older by the day. And with the growing threat of cyber attacks, investing in a Generac home standby generator is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity.
I know that when the power goes out, that Generac is going to kick on and I'm going to have power powering my whole house.
If it's out for 15 minutes or 4 days, we're going to be okay.
We have storms now, and I don't even worry about the power going out.
We have control over what happens in our lives now.
You never know when the power is going to go out, but once it does, you're glad you have it.
It was probably the best money we've ever spent.
We are more dependent on electricity to live our lives than ever before. If you lose power, all your basic functions at home are gone. You'll need to live without lights, no TV, heat, refrigeration, maybe even no running water.
Your Wi-Fi and home phone network stops working, and your cell phones can't be charged. Our security systems and our connected homes now useless. And if you bundle your home phone with your cable company, no dial tone there. Your entire way of life stops.
Unless you have a Generac home standby generator. With Generac, your life goes on. Your whole neighborhood will see that you were smart enough to get a generator because your house will have the lights on.
My husband became quite ill a few years ago and was dependent on feeding tubes, and we knew we had to have power. We live about a mile back a dirt lane, and when the power goes out, it takes sometimes up to 3 or 4 days for the power company to get here. We had no light, we had no stove. We would go around with flashlights or candles and feed the animals. We would become pioneers. When we made the decision to get a Generac, it was a remarkably simple process. The next time there was a storm and the power went off, within seconds, the power came right back on. Having the Generac gives me a tremendous amount of peace of mind. This is where I want to spend the rest of my life, and the Generac is making it possible. People tell me that they can't afford a Generac, and I say they can't afford not to.
The Earth over the last 20, 30 years is gradually getting warmer, and that means not only the air, but also our oceans too. And they hold an abundance of energy, and this excess energy has to be dispersed. Typically, it's dispersed through weather systems. If we continue to see this warm up, that means more systems, more storms, more disruptions in our weather. So it's always best to be prepared.
With severe weather, the aging power grid, or cyber threats, your power could go out at any time and be off for a long time.
It only makes sense to invest in a Generac so you can know for sure that your house and your loved ones will always have the power needed to be safe and secure.
One call, and you simply will never need to worry about being without power ever again. That kind of peace of mind is the reason to get up now and find out more about getting a Generac generator for your home. Here's how.
With worsening weather patterns, an aging vulnerable power grid, and the growing risk of cyber terrorism, power outages are a part of life now. That can be stressful because we depend on power more than ever. When the power goes out, we lose everything. There's no air conditioning, no heat. We can't even charge our smartphones. Now more than ever, you need a Generac automatic home standby generator. With prices starting at just $19.49, you can afford to always have the power you need. When power from the utility company is interrupted, your Generac generator instantly detects the problem and automatically provides power to your home. When the utility power returns, your generator automatically shuts off and returns to standby mode, ready for the next time you need it. With Generac, power stays on in your house, even if you're not at home. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. Generac has more than 5,000 dealers nationwide that will help you select a home standby generator that will meet your needs and fit within your budget. They'll discuss installation and provide you with a comprehensive estimate. It's a totally free consultation with no obligation to buy. It only makes sense to find out more. Generac's automatic home standby generators start at just $19.49. Special financing is available with affordable monthly payments. Plus, with the Generac mobile link, you can check on your generator anytime from anywhere in the world. With the highest quality construction, exceptional dependability, and state-of-the-art technology, it's easy to see why Generac is the #1 brand of automatic home standby generators in the world. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment. And if you act right now, you'll receive our 7-year extended limited warranty, a $695 value, absolutely free. Having a Generac generator gives you the peace of mind of knowing your family will always be safe and sound. Control your power and control your life with a Generac automatic home standby generator. The proceeding was a paid program for automatic home standby generators, brought to you by Generac Power Systems.